Hey, buddy. It is October. It is Saturday in October. The car is all cleaned up, ready to go for the Martin Sports Car Club event tomorrow. October event taking place at, Lake Tech in Lake County. This will be the final shakedown run before the state championship, which will take place Veterans Day up at the firm. If anybody is watching this and wants to come on out, please go ahead and sign up. Got plenty of time to do so. This video is also going to be a quick review, I guess you'd call it, of the Carbotech AX6 pads that I just recently put on the car. I'll give you my initial review here, initial thoughts. I've bedded them in. I'm no pro when it comes to bedding in pads. I've only done this like once or twice, but I did it per the instructions. I think they turned out pretty well. I can see a little bit of the material there on the rotors. Looks good. Maybe I could do a little bit more. I don't know. But in the initial bedding in process, I can say that as soon as you get into the brakes, you can tell that there's definitely something more there. It's not extreme. This is still a stock braking system, but you know, it's something. And it's not grabby. It's not anything weird. It's just that initial pedal. Once it starts to engage, you're like, oh, okay, it's noticeable. And on down through the pedal, you've got more there. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth, but it's better. I could tell you that. The other thing is they are dusty. It's an aggressive or more aggressive pad, so you're going to get dust. You're really going to notice it on a white car. The car's clean right now, so you obviously can't see any of that. But with that dust, I'll tell you, some people have told me before I bought these pads that the good thing about Carbotech is that the dust is not corrosive, or the material is not corrosive. And from what I can see, they're right, because I've had the dust there on the wheels for over a week, and even on the side of the car for a few days, and there's no issues. The dust just washes right off. There's no sign of any corrosion or anything of the dust sticking to the car. So that's good. Good times. Let's see what else. Oh, they are a bit squeaky. When you're driving around on the street, you don't notice it, but in low speed stuff like backing out of the garage, it's pretty serious. It's like a humpback whale or something. You can hear it, but you know, once again, that's to be expected, I guess, when it comes to these sort of pads. Maybe if I bedded them in better or more, that would go away. I don't know. I'm, once again, not a pro. The rest of today, I can tell you that it's been a great day. These videos are geared towards my little man, my little son. So we've spent the day together, he and I. It's been nice. It's been nice hanging out with him, and in between his naps, I'm able to go ahead and wash the car and prep the car, and right now he's taking a nap, so I'm able to do this here video. The next video is going to be, I guess, probably when we're on the road to Lake Tech, and after the autocross event, I'll try to do a wrap-up comprehensive review of the Carbotech pads, let you know what I think about them. So yeah, next time you see this, it'll be tomorrow. All right, it is Sunday morning at approximately 7:30 a.m. on the way to Lake Tech, and today is a red letter day because in the passenger seat I have one Eric Holland. Eric Holland is my neighbor. He lives about a half mile away from me. We've been friends since like kindergarten. Not really. It's been like 15 years?
A long fucking time, man.
Yes, yes. And so Eric is joining me on this. We're going to rear end this car in front of us. There's a semi. I don't know what's going on. This is Lake County at its finest. And yes, it's going to be a good day with Eric and me. But I'm not going to show me, but Eric. And there's a Subaru. And there's a van in front of it going very slowly. And a traffic light. And we're back home. Be honest with you, I didn't record anything. Today was very busy for me as a tech inspector guy. So we had people coming in late, and I had to run the first heat, so I was just kind of running around, and then also had Eric with me, so I kind of was hanging out with him. Didn't take the time to film much. I'll throw in some pictures or something, or link the pictures from the event to the description here in the video. But I'm going to do this wrap-up portion of the video as a public service announcement. One, the brakes. We'll get to the brakes. The course layout was not was not really conducive for hard braking, but get an idea of the dust. That's how the dust forms on the wheels. So it does clump up a little bit. The brakes did great. It was a couple corners where you jam the brakes real quick and then make the turn. It was kind of more of a momentum-based course, so no extreme hard braking, but it's I don't know, it's better than stock. It's better than what it was. So yay. Now, public service announcement. When you go to a shop and have any work done on the car, double check their work, because out of the potential 5 runs that I could have, would have, should have taken today, I only made 4. And here's why: is the course had a real hard flowing left hand turn to it, where I mean, it was over 180 degrees, big long sweeping that you're constantly turning left. It was actually really fun. It was nice drifts and stuff like that from me and from other people. But whenever I'd finish up with that run, or a run, I'd come back to the grid position area and I noticed a smell, kind of a sweet smell. I've smelled that smell before, and people noticed it, other people noticed it, and they said, hey, it smells like you're leaking coolant. And I said, yeah, that's happened before. You know, under hard, steady state cornering, it seems like it comes out a little bit from here. It did. Maybe it was overfilled, but I've never had any issues since. I've never had any overheating issues, no nothing. Actually haven't had that coolant issue pretty much since I got the car. The first couple runs, I think it kind of blurped some out or whatever, and it was fine after that. Well, keep smelling it. After the 4th run, park the car, and there is smoke coming up from the cowl. One of my fellow competitors said, hey, you've got smoke coming up from right about here-ish. So we pop the hood real quick, run around, look. As the first run and the rest of the runs, I see nothing as far as coolant. I see nothing coming out. I don't see anything that looks like coolant. Well, then I look and see that the smoke is actually coming from over here. I come around, look, and sure enough, there's something down on the manifold and the spark plug wire, and I can't figure out what. Obviously, it's not there now. But then I look over here, and there was brake fluid all around here, puddled up on the slip. The shop that just recently did my alignment noticed that my right rear caliper plug, I guess you call it a plug, whatever the bolt area it is when you go to undo and bleed the brakes, it was loose. And that was my fault. I was fiddling with it. I was going to bleed the brakes. I didn't. I thought I tightened it back up good enough. Obviously, I didn't tighten it up good enough. They noticed it was leaking. So they bring the car back in after they did the alignment. Luckily, they found it. Great job on them. I told the guy, he saved my life. They put some fluid in it, bled the rear brakes, the right rear caliper, and good to go. Wiped down the wheel for me. Everything was great. But the problem was, when they did the cap, they didn't put it on all the way. So instead of it being on there perfectly, it was like wonky. You got to put it down all the way, then turn it. That didn't happen, so therefore, under that steady state hard left-hander, it was actually blurping fluid out of the reservoir, off the side of the reservoir, down onto my manifold and my spark plug wire. So yeah, that was a tremendous fire hazard, and I'm glad the car didn't burn down. So I don't know if I'm going to tell my wife about all that. But anyway, public service announcement. Always double check what a shop does, no matter how good the shop is. There's no complaints on the shop. I will take the car back there for the alignments and stuff, because they're actually very good. And the people that work there are very good. This was just a mistake. You know, it's just, what can you say? What can you do? Is at the end of the day, the guy was trying to hurry. I get it. It happens. Unfortunately, you know, it could have burned my car down. So after that 4th run, I just let it sit, decided not to do the 5th run, and called it a day. So then once the engine cooled down, I kind of sprayed in there, wiped it down, and the drive home, the hour-long drive home, was absolutely fine. There was no smell, no smoke, no nothing. So yeah, public service announcement there. Double check what people do when somebody else works on your car. Double check what you do when you work on your car, because I obviously didn't on the back caliper, and that's what started that whole fiasco anyway. So overall, the car ran great. The rear end was definitely more lively with the tightened up rear sway bar. I don't know honestly what I'm going to do when I go to the firm. I don't know if I'm going to soften it up. I'm just going to wait for the times to come out. I'll actually post the final results and the times to the description as well, to kind of see where I'm at. As far as I understood it when I left, I was about 3 seconds off of the fastest guys there, which is where I want to be, but in the overall, or that's where I know if I'm 3 seconds out, then I'm doing pretty good because the fast guys are very fast. So if I'm near the top 20 again, I'll be happy. I don't know yet what I'll do with the sway bar, but either way, state champs, November. I'm doing a lot of thumbs up here in this segment, but if you're interested, if you have a Pontiac G8, oh, quick, shout out to Carlos who brought his GXP out. It's a gorgeous car. He ran in the KMC class with me. Thank you. That was fantastic. Also, shout out to, I think his name was RJ. I can't quite remember what his first name was, but he said, or RJ, I think it was. He had a Caprice detective's car that was never put into service. I think he said it was a 2010 or so. Gorgeous, kind of a darker green color. I can't remember what he called it. There's a name for the color. I don't know colors. I don't pay attention to that. But he had done most of a civilian style Holden conversion to it. The car was fantastic. He was brand new to autocross. I got to ride with him for his first 2 runs and kind of give some pointers of the track and everything. And the car actually did really well for a car that the only modification it had was BMR springs. But I hope he comes back. RJ, if you ever watch this, please come back. It was fun, and I need more G8s to play with, or Holdens to play with. So yeah, see you next month. Bye, buddy.